My name is Cordeiro, and I'm an e-commerce and Shopify consultant from Portugal, and I'm here today to talk to you about opportunities on e-commerce in Europe. So my agenda starts with an overview, explain you about e-commerce operations, some regional specifications about the market, some rules and laws that applies to Europe and the European Union, and some opportunities that you may have. Right now, Europe is in a quick growth regarding e-commerce. Well, like almost every region in the world, we are leading right now, and we expect to in 2021 to increase more. If we look now into the European digital adaptation, 87% use of internet within the last 12 months, while 64% purchases online within the last 12 months. And it's also important to understand that 5% of spends are made on subscriptions, an average of $153 a month. Europe is a mature market. From the top 10 countries that are most ready to benefit from e-commerce, 7 are European markets. Okay, we also open market mostly in the Western Europe. In 2020, 24% of the purchases were from sales outside EU. The decision making in Europe is in average 2 hours and 20 minutes to buy something online. The best sectors to sell online, like in other regions, is the apparel and footwear, books, and consumer electronics. Things that can create friction in your online business. Grocery products, for example, Europeans usually don't buy grocery products on online stores. Okay, it's very common to buy groceries, fresh groceries, every day, every week. It's kind of different from US, for example. Shipping cost is the first probable cost for an abandoned cart in the shipping cost. And they always chase for differentiation. Europeans like to have a big variety of vendors to choose from. Now looking to a regular e-commerce operation, you should expect in the top of the funnel, while generating traffic, that, for example, in Germany, the CPC is 31% less than US, the France is 64% less than the US, and the UK 13% less. So traffic generation is cheaper in Europe. And regarding user engagement, sustainability comes as a big factor. Europeans are very attracted by sustainable products, eco-friendly products and things like that. Exclusivity, Europeans are attracted by small brands and business where they can find some differentiation. They love niche products. Okay. And then the domestic truth, they prefer to buy in stores located in their own countries, sometimes in their own cities. Regarding shipping, the cart abandonment is high. 65% of customers leave the store because of shipping costs. But in free shipping, for example, 34% of online shoppers are not willing to pay for shipping at all when the order value exceeds 150 euros. Okay, so they have big expectations regarding free shipping. But also we have an opportunity, because by doing upselling of your order, 70% of online shoppers are likely to add another product to their shopping basket to reach a free shipping threshold. Payment methods, there are some issues here too. Cash on delivery is still very popular in Eastern Europe, okay? Credit and debit card is popular in Western Europe as expected, but we also have a lot of domestic methods. Each country has their own specific method. So people receive any kind of code and they go to an ATM, they add that specific code and they pay in the ATM, for example. So this is kind of domestic methods that you have in Portugal, one different from in Belgium, okay? And so if you're going to target a lot of countries, probably you need to also integrate those domestic methods in your store. So this can be expensive, okay? Obviously, systems like Shopify integrated with Stripe, a very well-known payment gateway, eventually can afford you a lot of money because they have already integrated some of those domestic methods, okay? But in general, Europeans, they use a lot of all available payments that probably you may know. We accept PayPal and other e-wallets perfectly. Visa, MasterCard, the more popular ones in credit cards. And again, domestic methods with 24%, okay? So this is huge. Conversion rates. Germany is probably one of the exceptions, but mostly of the European countries don't have a high conversion rate. Okay, so don't expect to have 2% conversion rate. Only some business can achieve that. Okay, in general, for example, a country like Italy, the conversion rate is under 1%. Eastern Europe, for example, most of the business are under 1% too. Okay, so don't expect big conversion rates. Taking now a look how Europeans see the deliveries, they expect fast deliveries. They expect in average 3.1 days the order to come. They also expect to find carrier options in the online shop. 47% of shoppers are influenced by the carrier options available because they know which ones are the better, and they prefer to buy in a store where that option is available. And then we have the cancellations. Europeans may cancel an order if it takes more than 4.4 days in average to arrive. Order tracking, we expect to have some feedback, usually by email, okay, or SMS. So there's a lot of people that expect to have some return from the seller. And looking now into the returns, 53% of Europeans will return products if they are not satisfied. It's a high rate. And 56% of Europeans always check those small letters in the return policy before they decide to buy. Again, by law, customers have 14 days to decide if they want to return a product. In cross-border shopping, 51% of Europeans think the delivery cost is too high. Okay, so that's one of the problems with cross-border shopping. 42% they fear potential extra costs in customs too. Okay, and 40% they fear difficulties in returning products. Again, the return is a big deal here. Okay. So, but let's look at the regional markets here, okay? Europe is 5 great regions, okay? So, Western, Northern, Central, Eastern, and Southern, okay? Western Europe is most advanced in e-commerce and has the bigger population, okay? The mindset is more related with the US mindset, okay? Southern Europe, with the countries like Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, as a big population, doesn't have the same performance in e-commerce, okay? We love to go shop to the streets and see the stores, and we have sun, a lot of sun during all the year, so it's normal. Northern Europe is a big e-commerce player, but the problem is the population is very small, and they seek a lot the exclusivity, pricey products, okay, quality products. In general, Western Europe has the best ratio on shoppers. So 83% of population buy online, and then the Northern Europe. But the worst is the Eastern Europe. The only 36% of population buys online. Okay, so here maybe is one of the greatest opportunities, okay, to think about Eastern Europe, because probably with the pandemic crisis, they are now growing a lot, and this can be a great opportunity, okay? Looking out to the shoppers by age group, one thing that you should have in mind is that all the European population is prepared to buy online. The digitalization of the population is high. For example, the 65 plus age group is the second one in Europe with 17%. the global index of countries on ease of doing business. Usually, northern countries and Western Europe are the ones who have the best performance. Like United States also. We are in the same index range. In logistics performance, Germany is the biggest player. Okay, better than the US, for example. In the e-government development, UK, again, Western Europe and also Northern Europe are performing better. Okay. The markets with fast growth as an opportunity for you, probably Southern Europe. Now with the pandemic, Southern European countries and also Eastern European countries are jumping in the e-commerce world. Okay, so like Spain 44% in the last year, 41% for Belgium, 37% for Italy, and Poland with 33%. Okay, as I said, Eastern European countries they usually don't buy a lot online, so Poland is with a high growth right now. Okay, problems at the regional level, language. Okay, we have a lot of language between each countries. Okay, so it's very complicated for creating an operation that uses all the available language for Europeans. Obviously, most of the European countries, for example, like Portugal, we have this English as a second language, so for us it's not a big deal. But for example, in some parts of Spain, it's a big deal. If you go to Poland, for example, it's a big deal. Okay, to have only English available, and then the culture too. Okay, Western and Eastern Europe, they have different worldviews. Okay, Eastern Europe they have more worldview from inherited by the Russian culture. Western Europeans they accept more the US lifestyle. Okay, so this is very important. And then think about the rules. Okay, one thing is Europe, another is European Union. There are a lot of rules in European Union. They are completely different from the other countries not included in European Union. They are in Europe. Okay, so each one of those countries they have all their own specific rules. So it's kind of tricky to understand everything, and it's a complicated learning curve here. Then we have the problem with the customs. Okay, it's always very complicated for in e-commerce operations, and in 2021 we will start with the new VAT laws that any order from cross borders that needs to declare the VAT. Companies from outside the EU will need to have the VAT registered in in some of the EU countries. Okay, like from Germany, for example, if you're in US and you want to sell in EU, probably it's better for you to open your VAT account in Germany, for example. There's, as I say, the worldview and political views. Some countries can ban products and advertising messages based on their political views. Okay, there are some countries that they don't accept some issues, and at the political level they can ban those products. Okay, and then, as you probably know, privacy is a big deal in Europe, and we have a very strict privacy policy for e-commerce, and not only e-commerce, for everything at the online level. Okay, that's what I will try to explain now. One is the GDPR, the famous GDPR, where the users need to have the right to access their own data, need to have the right to erase their own data from any platform, right to transfer their own data to a different operator, to a different website, right of being notified in 72 hours if there is a data breach in the operator. Okay, then the operator should comply with ensuring that the personal data is secure, appointing a data protection officer to certify the privacy design of your platform. Okay, and then in 2020 and 2021, new rules on e-commerce, payment service directive, and the new rules of cross-border parcel delivery service that are already in force. Okay, as I said, a lot of new rules are now taking place in the customs, so in the tax service. So it's important you to get more information about this. We are not allowing any more geo-blocking, okay, between countries. Germany website cannot block a Portuguese citizen to buy there. Okay, we have a new revised consumer protection rules, and as I said, the new VAT rules for online sales are now I think in July will start being applied. Okay, and then the customer protection, as I said, states a lot of stuff, but for example, governments can remove sites on social media accounts where scams have been identified, for example, in a very quick way. Online marketplace will have to inform consumers where they are buying from a trader or a private individual, so they are aware of their rights if something goes wrong. When consumers search online, they will be clearly informed when a search result is being paid by a trader. When customers pay for a digital service, they will benefit from certain information right with 40 days to cancel the contract. Okay, again, the 40 days not only for returning but for any kind of subscription also. Okay, and there's also the Digital Service Act. That's something that you also should explore and understand all the rules that will be applied. There's a lot of directives that you should know when coming to Europe. Okay. If you want more information, just go to the EU e-commerce directives. So let's finish with some opportunities. I think that you should think about. We have most of the same marketplace that you also have in US. So, for example, Amazon is a nice place to start in Europe. You already know Amazon in US is the same stuff. Okay, so Amazon is a very good way of starting selling in Europe. Think about also the partnerships at country level. Most of the countries they have regional level associations often promote e-commerce days and other related initiatives that can be used for sellers to gain visibility in a new market. Okay, obviously you need to spend money, to invest money with these partnerships, but they are very trusted, so it's a nice way to start. And then also, why not licensing first your products to European operators, and later when the brand has some reputation, you take again the operation. If you have an aggressive PPC strategy in US, for example, why not translate it to Europe? Because most of the European countries, they have low CPC, so this is a good opportunity, and companies usually don't invest budgets like the ones we see in US. Okay, so this can be also a nice way to start. And the most obvious, it's better to have a European warehouse, so your profit can increase. But be aware of choose a country where obviously the logistics are very well developed, and the geolocation it's also good. Germany is the Western Central Europe, it's a nice way to have your products so you can deliver to all over the Europe. Okay, thank you for all, and hope you enjoyed all my information. If you have any questions, I'm available. Okay, bye.